This is Finler Rockred from the Mars Mind Transfer Network, where we bring the best news, entertainment, and stories from all around the galaxy. Next up, we have our next segment of the history of Earth and its life forms. But first, the weather. This is Dusty Boy, the weatherman, with the weather for Mars for the next foreseeable future. So, for tomorrow, it is a negative 39 Celsius, clear skies, no wind, very dusty. For the next day, it is negative 78 Celsius, no wind, clear skies, and dusty. For the next day, after that, it is negative 89, clear skies, no wind, and dusty. And clear skies, no wind, and dusty for the foreseeable future. And now back to our segment of the hour, Earth and its history of life. I'm Professor Wormman from the Worm University. I am here to talk about the human part of Earth and its life. First, we'll go over human games. Humans lived a long time nomadically. However, as they are a lazy species, they decided to grow their own food in their backyards. So the hunting and gathering that they did in the past would be really, really easy. However, this gave humans a lot of time on their hands, and with this time, they made entertainment. This segment we're spinning on, we will focus on games. The mental or physical competition conducted according to rules with the participants in direct opposition to each other, or a form of sport, especially a competitive one, according to rules decided by skill, strength, or luck. Those are the definitions of game we will use today, so we do not make everything that happens a game. So, as a professor, I like to sort games into two categories. First, we have long games, and then short games. Short games were games that lasted a day. Long games were games that lasted forever. Sometimes. We'll start with short games. Some of the big short games were sport. Mainly, games with a ball that you got into some sort of circle, square thing. One time the ball in the goal, which is what the square circly thing, was 1 point. Other times, you walked into a square. If you walked into the square, you received some arbitrary number of points, not really making any sense. Not 1, not 2, 3, 4, but 6, or 3. So, many types of sport. Next, there was fight. Fight is just as it is. 2 or more people in a short time period, no longer than a day, come together to hit, stab each other for however much time. And whoever wins, wins. It's pretty simple. Then there are video games, which only a few are actually games. Mainly, teams would compete at a certain game. Not really a game, but at a certain task. Oh, my squid. At a certain task. And whoever did the task better would win. Lastly, there are board games and chance games. Board games are just games on a board with pieces. One called The Game of Life. Also, chance games. Just put money on things and hope you win. That's a game, I guess. Next, we'll move on to the bigger games. The ones I like to call long games. First, we have war. War is the extension of fight. While fight lasted a day at most, war could be up to 100 years. War It was a game, though, where the rules were broken the most often. Many a times, humans set rules, and many a times, humans broke them. So war is only a game some of the time. If there are no rules to it, then it's just chaos. But there's war. Next, we have capitalism. Capitalism is a game where people compete to have the best business, to make the most money. The one who wins gets high social status. Team captains that were very famous in capitalism were Rockefeller and Mr. Musk. And the larger game, team captains created their smaller mini games for the employees to play to increase productivity. Some competed to sell the most things and could earn fame and paper. Some competed to treat other humans the kindest and would win a plaque, sometimes known as Employee of the Month. And the list goes on of the many games where humans played to win social standing. A thing to notice is that no matter how grueling the mini games were, the team captains never played them. Lastly, we have the game of education. This is where people would learn things and then compete to get the most amount of points for knowing those things. People who knew the most things gained the most points, and with this, social status, humans' greatest want. And that is all from Wormman. I hope you have a good rest of your solstice, and I am out. I hope you know a little more about the human game.